And let's cover VRT, because as I mentioned earlier, these are some of the top performers right now within the IBD watch and ready lists. This one's breaking out here, Ed.
Yeah, and I think Friday was the best time to be buying this, just because it was still closer to the 50-day line, because it's getting towards the top of at this point, it's getting to the top of the buy zone, and it's 14% above the 50-day line. So I think Friday was probably the best time to be getting this, clearing that short-term level. But look, RS line blue dot. The volume hasn't tremendous on Friday, but it was decent. You see the volume has generally been better. We know the growth is amazing. So this, yeah, I think yesterday you also could have bought it as it was coming up around those areas. I think this looks great. People are in this. I think this is a great, that was great. But I don't like buying things 10% above the 50-day line. I made that point, and maybe that'll keep me out of things that are going to rip, and I get it. But I think especially, I don't feel like this is a raging bull market. This is not 2020 where I'm going to do that. But this looks great, and congratulations to those who got to this stock in the last few days as it was bouncing from 21-day line, 10-week line.
It's amazing how this stock in less than a year has become a big cap. It's very possible that Vertiv could qualify for the IBD Big Cap 20, for instance, because our minimum threshold for those kind of companies is 15 billion, and you can see it's now approaching 16 billion on the market. RS line blue dot again, earnings are going to come up in 15 days. Ed, is this something that you'd be watching closely for, maybe a stock that, for instance, running up ahead of earnings, selling off, but then finding support at a key level? Would that interest you?
Yeah, I mean, that would be something because if it consolidated, then you'd probably be getting close to earnings. But then if it made some kind of move after that, so that would probably be, I'd be looking for some kind of shelf or something that might form. I mean, but it may just keep going. Look, this may be gone, and I may not have an opportunity for a while. But yeah, and earnings season is going to come up, and I'm not sure what other companies might play into this, because this is getting into the data centers and servers and what they have to say. If somebody says nobody likes AI anymore, well, Vertiv is going to get hit. That's not going to happen, but you can imagine. So definitely with earnings season, think about what companies are coming up and could be affecting your things. And the same AI server demand, this is more of the cooling of it, but that whole thing is the same kind of thing that's driving SMCI today. So that one is, that's and I think there might actually be concerns about NVIDIA. Will others come out without new chips? Well, you know what? Supermicro is probably going to be powering them. It doesn't matter. So it's almost like even if NVIDIA, for some reason, you thought may lose some of its shine because there's some competition, there's still a lot of demand for, price Supermicro's computers. This one I think was actionable as it got above this recent levels around the 287 area, the recent highs from recent days. So you could probably still do it, but it's getting up there from, if you think that is the buy point.
RS line getting ever closer to the peak here, and we're spending more time over the 50-day. Yeah, I've been commenting too, Ed, that this has the look of a double bottom, but it's not a perfect one. I mean, you see that there is clearly some resistance at 300, and even it ultimately does produce a double bottom. You could also have a handle here. You could have some tight action. It could maybe a trend line that could result. So plenty of possibilities for this one. Let's go back to VRT, Ed, and let's examine the fund ownership here, because this is something that personally I have not really closely looked at, should have, but now we have really impressive growth in the number of mutual funds owning.
Yeah, I mean, that's impressive. Like I would like to see some more IBD funds. We got a couple of them there. I'd expect that to improve, but really that mutual fund number is really nice to see that ramping up.